she does. We've been speaking a lot about, really expressing our traditions and our cultures. And I don't think none of them have actually gone away. We just haven't been putting them in the forefront and in the light. And this woman that I speak of today has been doing just that. And across many African cultures, traditional healing practices have long played a role in caring for mothers, babies, and young children. And this is exactly what Gogo Nomadlozi does, a traditional healer who works closely with mothers and their children, offering culturally rooted approaches to wellness and early childhood care. She joins us as a traditional pediatrician in our studios this morning. Gogo Nomadlozi, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thokozani, good morning to the listeners. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking your time to come and speak to us today.
Yes.
I think this is such a unique practice because when we speak about traditional healers, we think about us as adults and like, okay, you go to a traditional healer for various things that you might need.
Of course.
But we forget that they are also healing practices. These are our own doctors that we have within our communities and in our cultures as well. For someone who might not understand, what is a traditional pediatrician?
Okay, so let me start by introducing myself.
Yes,
I am
please.
Gogo Nomadlozi. A lot of people refer to me as Umbeletis. So just to give you a brief of the work that I do, a traditional pediatrician, it is an African traditional healer that specializes in healing rituals, specifically tailored for mothers and babies, but in African language it is classified as umbelethisi.
Okay.
So I only specialize in illnesses that are still unresolved in the medical fraternity that can be resolved in the African fraternity or using African approaches.
Sure.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? I mean, it's something that many probably traditional practitioners probably don't think about. How did you observe it and start saying, you know what, this is something, I'm seeing a gap and I want to be someone who gets into this? Or was it more of a calling? You didn't see yourself getting to this point?
To be quite honest, when I got initiated, okay, so as far as I know, my grandmother used to practice as a traditional pediatrician.
Sure.
So it's something that I kind of observed within my family. However, it started with a series of dreams because during my early teen years, I had to undergo through initiation.
Sure.
So a series of dreams confirmed that I have to also go through what my grandmother has been doing all these years. So some of the practices or some of the healing practices, I had to dream of them before implementing them, and I never got the training entirely from my grandmother. So it started long before my existence.
Okay.
So yes, I was chosen before my physical existence.
It's interesting to say that because, most of the practices that are from those who come before us, at times they're not fully given to us in their completion because
Absolutely.
Some of it is a mystery whether you are called or you're not called. So no one knows until you have those dreams yourself, right? So how did you then start saying, I've seen this, I've observed it from my grandmother, but I also want to get training in it myself? Did you kind of try to figure it out yourself, or did you also get trained in it?
Surprisingly, when I got to my the initiation school then, the person who initiated me, it was not my grandmother, it was someone else.
Okay.
So she did not specialize in anything pediatric.
Sure.
My grandmother is the one from home. My maternal grandmother was the one that gave me full training, even though I was not trained by her to become a sangoma. So I think, just to answer your question, I never really got training from anyone because some of the things, I can make an example about epilepsy. I had to dream of healing practices to heal epileptic children. So that's not the knowledge that I got from my grandmother. Yes, I was shown. Yes.
You work with a very sensitive and sacred part of life.
Absolutely.
Pregnancy and children. These are the most sensitive people that we can that we have in our societies, the most vulnerable people that we have in our societies. And so many of us, when we think about the pediatrician, we think about the children only, but your practice starts way before the children are even here in this world. Let's speak about the pregnancy segment
side of things
of your practice. After the break, we're going to take a break first, and then we'll come back. We're speaking to Gogo Nomadlozi, joining us in our Channel Africa studios. You can see how gorgeous she looks today if you join our live stream on Channel Africa, well as on Facebook. That's on Facebook and on YouTube at Channel Africa 1. We'll continue after the break.
Thank you so much.
Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za. Across Africa, communities rise with the promise of clean water and clean sanitation. The African Union's 2026 theme calls us to action.
It's about mobilizing real commitments, securing climate-resilient water and sanitation projects, and ensuring that water becomes a driver of sustainable development and prosperity across the continent.
A landmark moment, not only for Africa, but for the global movement for access to safe water for all.
Assuring sustainable water availability for every home, every village, every nation. This is the Africa we want.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Hashtag on the move and connect with us.
All right, we're speaking about indigenous practice, medical practice today with Gogo Nomadlozi, a traditional healer who works closely with mothers and children. And it's what we call a traditional pediatric healing practice that we are unpacking today. So it's very remarkable that it's a connection between you dreaming and also physical, medical work. Yes. How do those two things link together? Could you help us understand it a little bit more, especially when it comes to from the phase of pregnancy to the phase of birth?
Okay, so I think it starts, it doesn't really start from pregnancy, because I get to have couples that come into my healing practice to say, Gogo, we need ingane. We are struggling with fertility. That's where it starts. From
all the
conception.
way from conception.
Yes.
Wow.
So it starts before healing the baby, but it starts from conception. So there are traditional medicines that we prepare for couples that are struggling with infertility, and once we are done with that process, which is it is called ugumisela. So ugumisela basically means that we are aligning the two worlds. Remember, for a baby to exist, you need to have both the maternal and the paternal side of
the families.
Yes. So once we are done ugumisela, then the mother.
Ugumisela, what does it mean? Is it aligning the two families? Is it through maybe cultural practice?
It is through divination, because some people they are struggling with fertility simply because of there are spiritual things behind that are happening that need to be resolved. And then for some people, there are medical issues like unexplained infertility, and those cases cannot still be resolved through medical practices like IVF, IUI. They've been to a couple of cycles and they still cannot conceive, or the medical doctors still cannot figure out what is wrong. And then once we start introducing traditional herbs, they fall pregnant, and then we align the two worlds. So ugumisela simisela isibeleto. So we're nurturing the womb so that it can be able to basically carry a baby, because some people also experience a trend of miscarriages wherein, yes, they're able to fall pregnant, however they cannot keep up with pregnancy until gestational period. So we do that, and then during their prenatal, we have prenatal sessions where we still do divination ukuhlola. Then once we are done with that, we have to check, because each and every woman story is different, because some are experiencing hormonal issues, some it has to do ngezinto zamadlozi, some ovulation issues, families, there's a lot. There are a lot of factors.
Check them in, of course.
Yes, of course.
There's problems there as well.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah, because there are some men who go through male infertility factors like low sperm count, and there's a lot that's going on. So we start from there. Once the woman is now pregnant, we now introduce ukuqinisa isisu using traditional approaches, where now we are introducing pregnancy protection rituals so that you can be able to carry this baby full term and not miscarry, because there are people who can be able to conceive but they cannot keep up with pregnancy till 9 months. So once you've introduced that, and then when the child is born, that's where we say silahla ingane. So when we lahla ingane now,
it's not violent.
Pardon?
It's not violent.
No.
You're not throwing the kid away.
No. Okay, I know the terminology is, it's a bit scary.
Sure.
So when we lahla ingane, some say ukhipha ishozi. So when the child is born, it is believed in African approaches that there could have been something that you stepped on that you were not supposed to step on during pregnancy. And ingane now has ibala. So once ingane has ibala, that's where we introduce the rituals of ukulahla ingane, so that the child can be aligned, because once the child has ibala, according to medical or in the medical fraternity, they say, no, that's a stock bite, those are strawberry marks, they'll go away, you don't have to worry. A lot of medical pediatricians say that. But ibala, in us who believe in African culture, it is a life-threatening illness that has an effect on the death of infants.
Oh, wow. I've seen your Instagram page and I've seen you hold the babies, put marks on them, there's smoke there, and I've also seen you massage the women's bellies, right? And I mean, I say, and I think a lot of people say as well, the pregnancy is a life-threatening condition. And I'm sure then there are worries, I guess, maybe from the medical fraternity to say, is this safe? Is this safe for Gogo Nomadlozi to be rubbing herbs, giving herbs to women to drink, to touch their bellies and massaging them, etc.?
You get critiqued a lot.
Oh, a lot. I'm sure. A lot, because I believe that we don't believe in the same things. We don't have the same values. A lot of people, yes, I do get critiques, because some people have never been exposed to anything traditional, especially with something sensitive like pregnancy. So when some people see me giving natural herbal medicines to pregnant women, they're like, oh my goodness, is this even safe? Won't this induce pregnancy? A miscarriage, labor, and so forth. So I think it's a matter of now doing something that you feel comfortable with. So
Okay.
And have you worked with mainstream medical practitioners, right? Because there are those who are willing to, bridge the gap, because I think that needs to be bridged, because you guys are the first people that are closer to communities.
Precisely,
and people come to you first before they'll go to any clinic or mainstream hospital, right? But have you had those partnerships?
I have. I always say that I'm not a narrow-minded healer.
Sure.
I've got, I'm also a career woman. I studied psychology, so I understand that if something cannot be resolved using traditional approaches, then there is another way, even if it's medical. So I have had cases whereby I said to my patients, no, but I think you need to seek medical attention. Yes. So I'm not narrow-minded to say, oh my goodness, like for example, women that cannot, I don't know what's the medical term, where women who are pregnant, the cervix constantly opens up. That needs medical attention. No matter how much I can do rituals to protect the baby, but there are some pregnancy conditions that specifically need medical doctors. So they have to go to the hospital to get their cervix stitched, so that they can be able to carry the baby full term. So yes,
that's so responsible of you. I think that's wonderful for you to do as well. Do you think there should be that kind of more collaboration, mainstreaming the two to work together? Because I've had a lot of conversations working at Channel Africa where even scientists or academic experts are saying, traditional healers are the first reference point for many health conditions.
Yes, I think there should be a collaboration, but now the problem is when we come to the African side of things, our work is not documented. It was not fully researched, and
and I mean, you can't say, "Hey, I had a dream." So how do you put your dream on paper?
But I think we should start even documenting the dreams. Absolutely.
Yes. So our work mostly is not fully researched. It is not documented, and our work also, we do not fall. Okay, well, they are trying in our fraternity to be governed by a certain professional body, but it's unlike doctors who are under HPCSA, they have regulations and stuff. So I think the problem would be that, because remember, our work, it is through word of mouth. So Gogo Nomadlozi helped me with A, B, and C, but there's no proof scientifically.
Well, it's unfortunate. I wish that we could actually have this conversation for another hour, because it's so fascinating what you do.
The producer says you can stay a little bit longer. So I think we've gotten that ability. So we'll just go to our news and then we'll come back and chat a little bit more, because I think there's a lot of things we can address on this one. Well, let's quickly move on and get our latest sports. Musibudi, what do you have for us?
Sports on Channel